This is Colin Gorman with EGP CPAs, and we're doing our fourth video on PPP. This time I'm reporting from my office, and it's good to be back. This series is going to be about the PPP FA, the Paycheck Protection Program Flexibility Act, and also include a few things that they've clarified in the guidance since our last video, but most of it's from the PPP FA. Again, this is really high level. If you want more details, come reach out to us at egpcpas.com. So the first thing is they've extended the amount of time to spend the payroll cost from 8 weeks to 24 weeks. So that one's a pretty big deal. The second thing is they've dropped the threshold from 75% to 60% for costs spent on qualified payroll costs. So now only 60% of the funds have to be spent on that. The other 40% still have to be qualified costs, but they're things like interest, rent, utilities. It also provides some provisions for restoring your workforce. And when you look at the PPP forgiveness form, there's also lots of different variations you can calculate the FTEs. So here are some of the changes that we know about. One thing is you can extend that period of time from 8 weeks to 24 weeks to determine the FTE. But if you already have a PPP loan, you can keep that 8-week window to look at if that's more advantageous for you. They've also extended the time to get your workforce back to its original capacity from June 30th to December 31st. Some other FTE things they put in there for us is that if somebody quits, that doesn't penalize you on your FTE ratio calculation. If you make a good faith offer to somebody and they don't accept it, that doesn't penalize you. And there's also some relief for businesses who haven't been able to fully staff up because of business closure restrictions. Restaurants are a great example of that. If for some reason after the 24 weeks you still don't use all of those funds, that portion does have to be paid back. But they've made a few changes. You now have 5 years instead of 2 years to pay that back. There's also an interest deferral. It used to be 6 months, now it's 12 months. Now keep in mind, interest will accrue on that portion that's not forgiven, but now you have 12 months before you have to start making payments. And the last thing they did with this is that there's a provision of the original CARES Act that allowed employers to defer remitting payroll taxes, certain payroll taxes to the IRS. But if you got PPP money, you weren't allowed to also take advantage of that. Well, now you can take advantage of that program, and we have an additional video on our YouTube channel covering that. Again, if you have any other questions, please reach out to us at egpcpas.com. Thank you.